You know, they do say it's kind of like attraction rather than promotion when it comes to influence, you know, and I think I learned a lot about influence, interestingly, from the sales training that we did, you know, and all of the psychology behind that, which I kind of in some ways implemented in my relationship with my son, where I was like, I'm not going to tell you what to do. I'm just going to be over here doing my thing. And, you know, if you're interested in what it is, I'm happy to talk to you about it. And that approach worked really well. He's alive today. In my mind, you know, to some extent, thanks to Russ and thanks to COD, because I just hate to think where things might have gone if I hadn't joined at that time. You know, I think the timing of it was really critical for me. So my name's Kate Mansfield, and I'm a dating and relationship coach. I also have a school where I certify people to become a dating and relationship coach. I actually trained as a corporate and executive coach. I had had a whole personal journey with challenges in dating and relationships myself. Trained as a therapist, as a couples therapist, and I didn't really enjoy that, so I decided to go into corporate coaching. But when I was training to do that, every single one of my corporate clients wanted to talk to me about their love lives. And so So by the time I finished my training, I had a dating coach business, which just, I mean, it just happened, and I got these people incredible results. So I kind of ran with it. I was like, okay, this seems to be my calling. I have some kind of weird gift in this area. So that's how it came about. Initially, I had some referrals, but I struggled to get clients. I mean, that was my biggest challenge, I would say. I did a lot of networking in person. I was just working one-on-one with clients. And so the other thing I think that was really challenging for me was I definitely wasn't charging enough for what I was doing, given the outcome and the results I was providing. And then I think also I was working one-on-one with clients, and I found myself just repeating the same things again and again. And so I started to feel frustrated in terms of like, there must be a better way of doing this to leverage my time. So that's how it started out. I did that for about 5 years. So I joined Russ's Facebook group, The Art of High Ticket, probably about 9 months before I signed up. And to be honest, when I joined that group and I saw the people posting like, I just made 20K and I just made 30K, I actually thought it was a scam. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I thought like, who is this guy? This has to be a scam. It was mind-blowing to me that people could make that kind of money. Reality is my back was against the wall. I knew I had to make my business generate a lot more money, and I had to do it really quickly. And so by then I had realized that COD wasn't a scam and that Russ was actually a really good guy. So I had to figure it out. It was actually really interesting because it was New Year's Eve, and I was at a New Year's Eve party because of the time difference, because I'm from the UK, and it was about 2 hours to midnight. I just felt like I have to do this like before the end of the year. And so I got on a breakthrough call with one of Russ's team. He was trying to explain all the stuff, and I was like, listen, just here's my credit card. I don't want to go through all these questions. I'm at a party right now, so take my cash or don't take it. And he was like, okay, this isn't really how we do this. And I was like, dude, take it or leave it. And he took the payment, and then we arranged to speak the next day and kind of go through the details. But I was in by then. I was just like, I have to do this. I can see it works, and I'll do whatever is needed really at this point to make it work. So I think we've had around 220 clients go through that program since I did COD. Yeah, I mean, aside from the money, actually, what was a game changer for my clients, putting them in a group was just so transformational for them. And I was quite worried about the whole concept of group. It felt like a bit watered down as a one-on-one coach. You know, I was worried about that. But actually, they immediately just got much better results, much more quickly from listening to each other, from sharing with each other. And I think the rolling format worked really well in terms of setting them up for success. You know, hearing people that were ahead of them in the program really helped them, particularly in the dating space. But what was really powerful was the women in my program who had done that process and then started dating were getting such transformational outcomes. And then hearing them share that in the group was just, it just pulled everyone else, you know, along so much more quickly than if it was just me coaching them. So it was just a win-win really for my clients and for me as well at the same time. My son was 14 when I joined COD, and I had just been through this big breakup, which hit my son really hard, and we had to move. And shortly after that, just before I signed up for COD, my son actually was groomed into a gang, which was like really, really terrifying and very traumatic. And so he used to disappear. He was almost killed several times, and we had to move house like several times. And so I had all of that going on when I joined COD, and then when I started, actually started the program. And so, often people say to me like, how on earth did you do that with that going on? And actually, I think for me, it became almost like a survival thing. I was like, I have to make this work so I can help my son and get him the help that he needs to get out of this situation, because it was really, really serious. And one of the most incredible things that came out of me doing COD in terms of this situation with my son was that, my son watched me set up this business and actually start to make money and start to have an impact. And something in him, I think, just clicked, right? Where he luckily saw the change in me, and he was inspired by that, and he managed to get himself out of that world, which is very, very, it's such a small percentage of people that get out of that world once they get into it without getting killed. There were 2 boys he was with in that situation, and they're both dead today. That could have been him, and there were times when he almost got shot and stabbed, and actually what's incredible now is that my son ended up working for me as a high-ticket salesperson. I just dread to think really what might have happened if I hadn't found this, and I didn't have a way out. I didn't have a way to make money, to make impact, and to build a successful business. That's the thing I'm most grateful for, has been the personal shifts that I've experienced as a result of doing the program, the opportunities it's created for my family as well as me. My sister's a clothing designer, and she had a market stall when I joined COD. She watched me as well. She's a lot younger than me, and she watched me create this online business, and then she was like, what are you doing there? And so I taught her how to do some Facebook ads and stuff like that, and she now has a 6-figure online business as well, which is really amazing, just from learning stuff from me and seeing what's possible. So it's really impacted my family at a wider level than just, even just me and my son. I would say, just do it. It's an absolute no-brainer. The investment, I think, is a tiny amount given what you can make back so quickly. Giving you a system and a framework so that you can build a business that gives you that freedom to work from anywhere, to work online. So that's a big passion of mine. I've been able to travel all around the world in the last 2 years, just working from my laptop, which is amazing. I just go on Facebook and start scrolling, and I just see celebrations of my clients, engaged or married or with their babies or children and families, and it's an amazing feeling to feel like I've played a part in that.